La ville est triste quand il neige, la ville est triste quand il pleut. La ville est comme un grand manège dont chaque tour nous vieillit un peu.
You take a little sun-ripened tomato, just as small as you can put it in your mouth. Close your mouth and chew, and chew, and chew, and chew, and try to feel what it tastes of. And after, say, chewing it 30 times, that's why it had to be small so that it doesn't splurt out all over the place, sink it, and then wait for a little while. And then you realize there's a flavor that lingers in your mouth, and it stays there for a very long time after sweetness, saltiness, sourness, all that is gone, and what is left is umami.
It's a bit sour.
A bit funny.
Very salty. And a bit of sour too. And sweet.
Salty. Really salty.
Maybe sour, I don't know. It's a bit spicy, like in this part of the mouth. It's kind of spicy.
In the beginning, it will taste weird, but after, when you develop it, it's unstoppable. You need it every day in your mouth, in your diet, like a drug.
Damien Quintana, sous chef of Restaurant Studio, will prepare and compare 2 dishes, one with and one without umami.
Just very lightly, like that, we make sure that it's going to be nice and tender. If we cook at too high temperature, it's going to become very tough. After that, we're going to divide 2 portions. One is going to be mixed up with white miso paste. So it's a fundamental ingredient of umami in Japanese cuisine. It's by the fermentation of the soybeans. It's quite sweet, salty, and of course very rich in umami. Actually, what we're gonna do is just one of them like that, and the other one will be steamed just with butter and without the miso. Can you take the plates up, Emil?
It's hidden underneath all the stronger flavors, but it's there. But you have to pay attention. And the most sort of fundamental thing about umami is it sort of fills your mouth and it lingers for a long time.
Foods with umami in them tend to bring more pleasure to people, okay? Foods that bring more pleasure to people will often have them eat less. In our part of the world, people eat too much, so if they would eat a little less, it would be very good to themselves and also to the health budget in our society.
But why do we like some foods? We have thousands of receptors spread all over our tongue. These receptors send signals to the brain when we eat, which then analyzes its taste. Each taste has its own meaning that tells the brain whether it likes it or not. For example, when we eat something very bitter, our brain might perceive it as poison and send a warning so we can spit it out. But when we eat food that contains umami, our brain perceives it as something rich in protein. Then our brain will say it likes it, because protein is essential to our body.
We have these 5 basic tastes, and so we have 5 different receptor systems. So if this is a hand with my fingers in a very complex shape, is a taste receptor, and this pen is an umami molecule that comes floating here. Then when it gets close to this one, it'll say whops, and it sits there, right? If this is an umami molecule, and this is now another receptor for saltiness, and we get this baby flowing here, it will pass right by because it is not sensitive. It will not grab it. So you have 5 different grabbing systems, 5 different receptor systems.
After they have been marinated, we will arrange them in the middle of the plate. And our CP plants, chickweed, that is just a mild green grassy tone to the dish, and this wintercress, that is kind of the spicy tone to the dish. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna form our mushroom sauce and we're gonna add it to our dish with rich in umami flavors. And the other one, it will just have a green sauce based of parsley and a little bit of lavish as well. Comparison of 2 different kind of dishes. One rich in umami and the other one not rich in umami.
You may not have white miso or mussel sauce in your pantry, but you can taste umami in many common dishes.
Umami is almost always present in Danish food because we like meat, and there's almost always umami in meat.
The Danish food culture, potatoes are very important. They're one of the vegetables that are very high in umami, in particular if you cook them.
Minced meat, mostly frikadella, which is one of the most eaten food, I think. Leverpostej, which is also a very Danish thing. Rye bread, fish, a lot of fish.
Parmesan cheese, I guess, is sort of the prime example of high umami foodstuff based on milk products.
Who's using shrimps? Shrimps? Good. Just take what you need and put the rest in the freezer. Yes. Thanks.
Although not all Danes know of umami, learning about the taste is essential to become a chef.
At this school it is very important, no doubt about that. Yeah, it's very important to know about all the tastes. We teach in taste generally. We teach in mouth feel and viscosity and how food interferes with other ingredients and so on and so forth. But umami is of course a big deal when we're talking taste.
Well, basically you learn it when you're in school. Always your teachers talk about these different scents that you have in the mouth. You know, the bitterness, the saltiness, the sweetness. And when you get to reach this point of you taste something is like full of flavors, they try to explain you, oh, well, that what you are tasting now is something rich in umami. That have all these components in one. So when you put it in your mouth, yes, it's an explosion of deliciousness.
Of course, knowing about it makes it easier to control the dish.
It's what you are looking all the time in a dish. You need to know it. You need to know what you are looking for. If not, how are you going to keep developing a new dish? This one is kind of each ingredient is talked by itself. You can taste every single component. This one is everything lifting up together in between each other. It's a mix up of things together, linked in between by a sauce. Okay, I wanna make a description of what I feel when I taste that. When you taste this dish, the first thing that I taste is some sweetness in my mouth that go very well with the squid that is totally creamy. And after it's coming all these green tones that we have with all these beautiful plants and the parsley oil. And after I get this hint of fermentation that is the white miso, but very lightly in the back of my mouth, in the aftertaste. When we take this one, I have this beautiful green sauce, very fresh. I can taste every single ingredient of all these plants. And as after taste, I have this creamy, little fishy texture of the squid. But it's much more bland, I can call it.
You can have a dish with or without umami in it. And there I think that most people would judge that the umami containing dish has a better taste. So the only way to experience umami is to have somebody try it.
La ville est triste quand il neige, la ville est triste quand il pleut. La ville est comme un grand manège dont chaque tour nous vieillit un peu. Quand les beaux jours seront là pour la saison prochaine, ohé, ohé, pour 3 mois, vous viens de vivre avec moi.
You have sex and eating. I mean, that's sort of the pleasures of life.
And some people argue that with age, many pleasures go. But the one that stays with us until we drop dead is the pleasure of eating.
Knowledge about food is something that will also enhance your quality of life.
The more you know, the better chance to cook a perfect dish you've got. So it's all about knowing stuff that makes you better. Yeah, it's the same thing again. You got the meat taste, the umami taste, add some sweetness, and it works together.
Umami comes with, brings pleasure to your food. And if you can get more pleasure out of life by adding a little bit of umami to your food, then that is good.
Do you know umami?
Umami?
Umami.
No, I don't know.
You've never heard of it?
No. What it is?
Umami? What?
What is umami?
Really? Is that what I feel up here? Or am I just allergic?
I heard about it, but I don't know what it is exactly.
I don't know if my breath is that good now. I don't think so, but the taste is nice.
So I did not enjoy it, but I enjoy the people who made me do this.
No comments.
Any way possible.